Is your phone plan messing with your savings plan? Don't get stuck paying for things you don't want.
Freedom 97.1.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. President Biden says he hopes to see a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas in effect by Monday. Qatar's foreign minister says he's optimistic about the talks happening in Doha.
This draft proposal would see an end to fighting for over a month. 40 Israeli hostages would be freed in exchange for 400 Palestinian prisoners, and 500 trucks of humanitarian aid would be allowed into Gaza each day.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Body camera and surveillance videos released from a shooting at a megachurch in Houston, February 11th.
The video shows law enforcement confronting 36-year-old Genesee Moreno, who was carrying and eventually began firing an AR-15 style rifle in the Lakewood megachurch. Moreno was killed by the responding officers. 2 people were wounded in the shooting, and her son was shot in the head.
Fox's grandmother says he's breathing on his own now after 6 surgeries. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Live and local. Real talk starts now.
And so it's Tuesday, 7 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Rayford Brown.
I'm Kelly Knapp.
And I'm Lee Barrows.
And I'm there's somebody else in here yet?
No.
No, sure.
We don't have any guests today, do we?
No guest
No.
today.
How about that, y'all? Y'all can be our guest today. All of y'all.
We had a guest that was expected, and I talked to yesterday, and they're very sick. And
Ooh,
we were like, stay home.
a lot of
Oh,
that
yeah,
going around.
definitely.
Yes, a lot of that. A lot of people I know right now sick.
Yeah, I hear all sorts of cases, stories about the flu and whatever else that they've got. Sometimes they're not diagnosed with the flu, but they got flu-like symptoms. I can tell you that. But
Mostly flu is what I'm hearing.
that's what I'm hearing. So anyway, hopefully everybody will get better and sooner than later. And just move on. First of all, a reminder: early voting is still ongoing, but it will be ending soon. 5 locations will be open from, 8 till 7:30?
Yes.
8 a.m. this morning in about an hour until 7:30 this evening, all the way through Friday. It's on Saturday. This Saturday is a special time, right?
83.
Okay, so 8 o'clock until 3 o'clock on Saturday. Those 5 locations, you can check it out. Only a week away until Super Tuesday. You should check the Onslow Board of Elections for sample ballots for your ballots where you vote, because they're different in every precinct.
Yeah, you can get that if you go on North Carolina voter registration and put in your information and bring up your information.
Yep.
And then as you open it up and you come on down, it'll say 2024 primary.
Mhm.
And I have a number and a letter and numbers in like blue. Click on that and it brings up your ballot. You can
Yeah.
look at it and know what it is.
So you'll know
before.
exactly what you
Right.
need to do. And that'll also give you the opportunity to study it and study the individuals who are listed on your ballot. Do
Right.
some
And
Google searches and talk to other people.
Carolina elections is early this morning. I just got the totals for yesterday, which is so surprising because everybody said the polls were dead yesterday, but yet we show 530 people. Wow. I know I was out there for a little while yesterday down at the Board of Elections. There was nobody there.
No.
Nobody. So I'll update our Facebook page.
There are local, state, and federal candidates seeking nominations for their respective parties. You need to become familiar with them, check it out, and see who's running. If for the judicial races, check it out and see if you can just Google the names and any cases that they've had, and look at them.
Yeah, because I learned something new. There's 2 running in a judicial race in North Carolina. And I had heard some scuttlebutt and got it confirmed by somebody, but one of the judges has been censored by the North Carolina Judicial Board and has some other issues in his office, and which I'm glad I found that out. And so now I know which one I want to vote for.
What are the issues that he has? And why was he censored?
He was
Censured.
censured, yes. One of them is has to do with harassment in a volatile workplace.
Oh,
He had an aide that was harassing not only harassing but making sexually offensive remarks to staff members. And this judge engaged in it also.
Oh, wow.
So he was censured through the North Carolina Judiciary Board. And so there's a write-up on it, and you can go research it.
Mhm.
But that judge's name was Hunter Murphy, and his opponent is Chris Freeman. So I researched it yesterday and then was able to make a decision which judge I wanted to vote for.
And I bet you it's not going to be Mr. Murphy.
And no, probably not. So I urge people that bring up your ballot and look at who's on the ballot. And then all you have to do is Google,
Yeah.
because everything's right there.
Yeah, you'll find it. You'll find, if there's anything there, it can be found.
Right. So,
And if they're on the local level, they've our local commission candidates, they will generally have their email listed. Their websites will be listed. Check that out. If you've got a question, email them. If they got a telephone number listed, call them. Say, listen, I've got some concerns, yada, yada, yada.
right.
And, some of them, if they get real defensive, then, that's the way it is.
Most people are pretty familiar with your local candidates. It's the state candidates that people go in, and I've had many of a person just recently tell me, I go in there and I look, and I don't know who anybody is, and I just mark somebody.
Oh, don't do that.
Educating people to educate themselves.
Mhm.
That's what you need to do, because even those votes that you cast for a state seat, they mean a lot.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
Well, when I went to vote, the only one I didn't check a box for was that judge race, because I didn't know there was a judge race. I had seen no sign. I had done nothing, and I'm glad I didn't check a box now, considering what I did read what Lee was
You
talking
would've-
about
You
yesterday.
would have had a 50-50 chance of getting
Yeah,
it wrong.
and didn't want to get that guy. So I'm very glad I just left. That's the only one I left blank, but I did leave that one blank. So
Okay, we're good. A day late and a dollar short, but the White House yesterday shared a statement regarding the murder of Augusta University student Laken Riley on the University of Georgia campus down there in Athens, Georgia. In a release, they offered their condolences to the family of the 22-year-old nursing student who was killed last Thursday while jogging at the Augusta University at UGA. The statement included a comment that people should be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law if found guilty. Okay. In a release from the police department, Jose Antonio Ibarra, a 26-year-old illegal immigrant from Venezuela, was charged with murdering Riley. She died of blunt force trauma. And an information released just a short time ago, her head was severely distorted.
Mm.
In an earlier statement, President Biden said laws and resources haven't kept up with our immigration system. In reality, for decades, illegals, not just under Biden, illegals have been coming across our southern border with Mexico. Mexico has done nothing to deter people from Mexico and scores of other countries from jumping the border. And politicians have stood in the way of the Border Patrol in enforcing the laws that we have on the books now. On top of that, the current Department of Justice has threatened to sue any state that tries to prevent illegals from getting into their state. Of course, given the crisis, former President Trump, seeking another term, is blaming Biden for allowing the problem to grow out of control and for Riley's murder. And he's promising that if elected, he will see all of us will see the largest deportation of illegals beginning on day one ever.
Interesting.
I'm waiting to see that happen. I don't believe it.
right.
I don't believe it.
I think this death is really going to mar Biden's campaign, because this is a culmination of years of people complaining about the border. And
Well, Texans have been complaining for years.
I have friends that live in Texas, and it's
They
awful.
live
Yeah.
near the border. Those who live near
Yeah.
the border have had their property destroyed. They've had things stolen.
Yep. I've had friends that live not too far from the border there that have had a lot of things
It's
stolen.
just
Yeah.
ridiculous. And again, it used to be primarily Mexicans coming across.
But
Not
it's
anymore.
No.
Not anymore. They're in the minority coming across.
And they're talking about the, at least my friend did. I mean, they see them coming across.
Yeah, they do.
Young men who in their opinion, said definitely there's been a lot of Middle Eastern coming across. They've seen young men, a lot.
And this guy that's accused of killing the young student last week, he's from Venezuela.
Yes, he is.
He sneaked across the border, got caught, spent a little bit of time in custody.
But they let him go.
But they
Rayford.
let him go because they had, didn't have enough room to keep him. So he ended up making his way to New York, got arrested there.
Didn't show up for court.
Didn't show
on
up
one
for
or
court.
more occasion. Yeah.
Then he skips town, goes down to where his brother is living, who's
Yeah.
a scum bucket too.
It was his fake green card.
Yeah, well, that and a number of other offenses that he's been caught at. And so he was rooming with him right near the campus. What do you do with people like that?
Well, here's the thing. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they know someone who's living here, actually here in Jacksonville, and their green card is expired.
Well, then why turn that person
They
in?
are, yeah. They said they were calling ICE. They're like, don't they have a database for this kind of stuff? Like,
Well, find them. Where are they? They
Yeah.
there's no. They don't know where they are. They don't have a clue where they are when they turn them loose.
well, this person was in the military and they got out,
Mhm.
and they stayed here. The person with
They
the
gotta
fake green
go.
card, the expired green card.
Now if he was in the military and he
Yeah.
served honorably, he should have a fast track to.
I don't think it was honorably. Yeah. I don't know 100%, but I suspect it's not. So,
Yeah.
well, you know what? Something we didn't talk about yesterday, Rayford,
What's
is that Air Force guy that lit himself on fire
Yeah.
right outside of the Israeli embassy, chanting, yelling out "Free Palestine," and
He died.
he died, and he live streamed it.
What?
But I'm thinking there had to be
Begin
some deeper issues.
Oh, yeah.
This guy had
He's got
much
all sorts
deeper
of issues.
issues than just that.
Hmm.
Very tragic.
It is very tragic. Let's go over to something weird.
Oh, okay. Weird can be interesting.
The coach of a Vermont basketball team that forfeited a game against a transgender player broke his silence after the state banned the team from competing in future competitions.
Ban his team?
Yep. They banned his team because this Christian school.
But they're not going to be for transgender.
No, they're not.
Was this like a Christian
they-
league?
They just banned the school, that Christian school, from playing basketball.
Wow.
Chris Goodwin, who coaches at Mid Vermont Christian School, said the team was notified of the transgender player on the other team, but it wasn't until the playoffs last year that the team ended up facing them on the court. So they said, we're not going to play. We forfeit the game.
Oh.
That's a shame.
Yes.
However,
What's their convictions?
Godwin says he has taken the state to court now. The state is the one that banned them.
Mm-hmm.
An experienced coach for both girls and boys teams, he maintains that it is dangerous when a biological male goes up against high school girls. Boys play at greater speeds and with more force than girls, he
I
said.
agree with that.
The girls could get hurt.
Yeah.
The girls' basketball team forfeited the game against the team with a transgender player back in February of 2023, which prompted the Vermont Principals Association to ban the team from future tournaments. Oh, my.
I can see both sides of this. And there are some girls that will kick butt and take names, but still, statistically, the male is absolutely going to,
Be dominant.
especially because at the high school level, in most states, I'm not going to say all, they're still males, but I mean, they haven't had surgery or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, and plus, all the surgery in the world is not going to change the genetic makeup.
Yeah, chromosomes.
Well, regardless, if he wants to, he is a he,
Mhm.
and he's playing as a transgender, identifying himself as a woman,
Yeah.
period.
Right.
But he's a male.
Yeah.
Whatever else you say, he's a male.
Yeah.
Veteran sportscaster Bob Costas, you know him,
Yes.
spoke out against transgender athletes participating in women's sports, rejecting the notion that it's transphobic to call for common sense. A panel discussion was going on about the Leah Thomas, who is a transgender male, suing World Aquatics to force them to change their rules and let it play and others compete against women in the Summer Olympics. Costa says it's not fair to all transgenders to compete against female athletes. I say, let women compete against women, men compete against men, and if transgenders want to play, then maybe it's time to have a transgender-only team,
Yeah. There you go.
just like with bathrooms.
I think it's just so unfair that a woman or vice versa is in a sport, giving it their all, and
Mhm.
someone from an opposite
Yep.
sex that has
Claim to be they're now a woman.
right, well, that has the ability to do better because of their sex.
No.
I just think it's not fair.
There are situations, you ready?
Yes.
Such as the Swansboro a couple of years ago, 3 or 4 years back, their football team had a very successful female kicker. She was great. I saw her play.
Mhm.
And wasn't there something similar this past season, Lee? Do you remember? Wasn't there?
This past season,
female-
you had two females playing for Dixon
Uh-huh.
High School and Dixon Middle School
Mhm.
kickers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, very good too.
There's a little bit of a difference between a special unit like a kicker
Yeah.
and being on the front lines getting your butt kicked.
I agree with that. Mhm.
Well, it's just we know that males have a different level of competition within themselves.
Mhm.
And to put like a male who now identifies as a woman, like on a swim team with other women,
Right.
that gives that person an unfair advantage.
Yes, it does. To have former men compete against girls is as ludicrous as having a welterweight boxer go up against a heavyweight like Mike Tyson.
I agree with that.
Well, I agree.
I mean, the boxing, they have rules.
Well, you wouldn't put a welterweight male against,
No,
you know, I
that's
mean,
what I'm
so
talking
what
about.
is the difference? Yeah,
There's
I
no
agree.
difference.
There is, I agree.
You got to stay in
Yeah.
your particular class.
Yes, I agree with that.
Now, if this transgender female, Leah Thomas, wants to swim in the men's league,
Mhm.
biological male still.
Mm.
What about that?
Can we just go back to playing checkers or something?
Remember the Bobby Fischer and I forgot her name, the female that she played against Bob Fischer. Bobby
Oh,
Fischer.
tennis?
No,
Was it
Was
tennis?
it no? I think it was chess, wasn't it?
Chess. Oh, we're back to chess. I
I
don't
mean,
remember that
I don't
now.
see a problem with the female and competing with a male
Sure,
in
no.
chess.
Yeah, it's a
Oh, I
board
agree. That's
game.
mental. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
That's a
And
different
female's
skill
going to
set.
win every
It
time
is.
because you're talking
Oh,
mental.
God.
So, you know, hey.
I don't care if females compete or transgender males compete with men on a shooting team.
Yeah.
That's individual
Right.
competition.
Right, right.
Contact sports, basketball, football, swimming,
Mm.
where the biological male will generally, not always, generally have an edge
Mhm.
against women.
Statistically, they would have the edge. Yes.
So, no.
Yeah, I agree. But
No,
anything
just no.
non-contact, archery, like you said, shooting,
Yep.
chess, checkers.
Even bowling.
Or bowling.
Bowling. I say that
Yeah.
because I've been watching some of it this weekend.
Why?
Let's watch it. Because I'm
I
a
went
bowler.
bowling when we were up in DC.
I was on
I'm not good at it,
several
but I
leagues.
love it. I just love it.
Yeah,
It
I
was
used to
fun.
be in a bunch of leagues and
Okay.
loved it. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I tried it twice.
I didn't say I was good at it.
I can't
just
do
like
it
it.
anymore like I used to. I used to have a great average and could bowl really good. But
Well, the
now,
first time I played, the ball was halfway down the court, down the aisle, in the air before it hit.
that's called lobbing it.
Mhm.
Oh, they didn't give me any rules. I just chunked it and I said, knock those things down. I said, okay. I wound up and I knocked them down.
Look, there is a skill to bowling. And
Yes,
one
there
thing I've
is.
learned the more I do it, if you know, that those little lines, those arrows on the
Mhm.
On
what's
the
it called?
floor,
floor
yeah. That's
ramp,
right
or
where you lay your ball. You have to know where to lay
alleyway,
it.
whatever it's called. If you line your ball up just right, you can bowl a strike every single time.
Well, not everybody's the same though, because some people have a natural curve, a natural spin.
I have a curve
know?
if I don't keep my wrist tight.
Right.
Yeah,
What was your high game?
I can't remember. I don't know. And this bowling in DC was the candle pin bowling. the
Mine
small
was
one.
265, but
Yeah,
that
I've
was
never bowled
so many
265
years
ever in
ago.
my life.
I
can
can't break
flat out
100
tell you.
now.
Oh no, I broke 100, but no, I've never ever in my life bowled 265.
Oh, I was on like 5 leagues at one
Oh, I've
time.
never
so it
been
was
on a league.
bowling every
I'm
day.
not that good.
Yeah,
Loved
I
it.
don't-
I just like to do
Loved
it.
I did it one more time after that, and that was it.
Oh,
I was 2 and done. Let's take a break, do some weather, then we'll come back and talk about an Irish woman.
Oh, that's what
Uh-oh.
I was going to talk about. Somebody in Ireland.
we need
told
to
me
talk about
that.
Swansboro Walmart too when we come back.
Okay, you're live in local Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We'll be right back.
Freedom 97.1.
Is your phone plan messing with your savings plan? Don't get stuck paying for things you don't want. With Verizon, you only pay for what you need. And for a limited time, when you bring your own phones to a Verizon store, you'll get an amazing price on your plan. Plus, you'll save on things you actually love, like the Netflix and Max with Ads bundle. And it's on our award-winning 5G network. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today for an incredible deal. A better plan to save is Verizon. Additional terms and conditions apply.
Discover, this is Daniela.
Hi, it's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to thank you for making me feel so special. I earned cash back on debit for my dinner party groceries.
That's great. But with Discover Cashback Debit, we give everyone cash back on everyday purchases. Anything else I can help you with?
Do you like asparagus and mushroom sorbet? I've got leftovers.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cash back. It pays to Discover. Eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashback debit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
A plan every adult family member should consider is the pre-arranged funeral. It's the worry-saving thing to do for your family. Making pre-arrangements helps to alleviate the additional stress on family members that can come with arranging a loved one's funeral. Jones Funeral Home's prepaid funeral plan helps remove confusion. They make a practical evaluation of costs possible, and it's the best way to take an unpleasant task off the shoulders of the family. Call Jones Funeral Home at 455-1281.
With locations in Jacksonville, Richland, Swansboro, and Holly Ridge.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbin Avenue in Swansboro.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full-color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
Great Gas and Oil Company, and of course, Wismart and Chappie's Chicken, located at 4111 Gum Branch Road, right here in Jacksonville, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert, has all you need when it comes to convenience for gas, cold beverages, and a great selection for quick pickup essentials. Enjoy fresh, not frozen, delicious meals at Chappie's Chicken, located inside Wismart, 4111 Gum Branch Road, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert. So if you're in a hurry, get it all. Gas, ice cold beverages, convenience store items, and delicious, fresh, not frozen, Chappie's Chicken at Wismart, 4111 Gum Branch Road, Jacksonville, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert.
Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing specializes in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. In fact, they paint most anything except cars, including homes, businesses, apartment complexes, decks, and they do minor repairs, wood repairs, pressure washing, waterproofing, and more, including storm repair and cleanup. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing, fully licensed, insured, and locally owned and operated by Roger Carroll Jr. References available and customer satisfaction is always guaranteed. So if you want to paint and maintained, power washed, or need a new roof, call Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, and Power Washing at 910-939-0749 or visit southerntouchpaintingnc.com. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing salutes our troops and is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties.
I am Paul Buchanan, running for re-election as an Onslow County Commissioner. No false promises, just a firm commitment to serve the citizens of this county to the best of my ability. As a county, we face many challenges ahead. Navigating through those challenges requires seasoned, dedicated leadership. Your voice is an important part of the government of this county. I will continue to make sure your voice is heard. I will continue to do my very best to serve all the citizens of Onslow County. My goal is to provide the maximum support, vital services in this county possible. With the realities of the resources available, let us work together to make our county the best it can be. Every election is determined by the people who show up. I ask for your continued support and your vote on Tuesday, March 5th, paid for by the candidate.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Thailand Marine and Family right here in Jacksonville will be open from 8:30 this morning until 5 o'clock. Check with the Tideline team to see what deals they're offering on new boats, motors, and trailers, fishing boats for the shallow waters of eastern North Carolina, the bays and creeks of the White Oak and New Rivers, offshore and nearshore center consoles that will take you to where the big fish like to play, and luxurious tri-tune boats that can handle your family and friends for a fun day on the water. Of course, fishing tackle and related supplies to make sure you have what you want as the waters start to warm up on display now. Yes, Tideline has trained technicians too to take care of your outboard motors. Of course, if you do your own maintenance, you can get parts for your motors at Tideline as well. Tideline Marine and Family, 159 Old Bridge Street on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. Offshore today, winds out of the south 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4. Dominant period 5 seconds. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Wednesday, tomorrow, southerly winds 20 to 25 knots with gusts to 30. Seas 5 to 8 feet. Dominant period 6 seconds. Sounds and rivers are rough. Gale watch will be in effect from Wednesday afternoon through Thursday morning. On Thursday, northerly winds 20 to 25 knots, becoming northeasterly 15 to 20 in the afternoon, gusts up to 30, seas 4 to 6 feet, subsiding to 2 to 4 in the afternoon, sounds and rivers rough, diminishing to choppy in the afternoon.
Today it'll start off sunny, but it will turn cloudy, but the high today will be 71. Our winds will be 5 to 13 miles an hour with gusts as high as 22 miles an hour. Tonight, cloudy, low of only 60 and 15 mile an hour gusts. Tomorrow, partly sunny, high of 75, breezy with south winds 14 to 23 miles an hour and 38 mile an hour gusts. So you might want to take your bird feeders down and your wind chimes. But then tomorrow night, it's going to rain. The low will be 39 because it's that cold front coming in. There will be 15 to 24 mile an hour winds and gusts as high as 34 miles an hour. And then Thursday, it'll be sunny, but it will only be 55. Yikes.
I got a public service announcement for those of you that like to shop at the Walmart in Swansboro.
Okay.
Yesterday, they had a glitch in their system. Still going on today. You can only use a card to make purchases.
No
they
cash.
cannot take cash.
Oh, wow.
So
Why
they
can't
hope
they
to
take
have
cash?
it fixed later today. But as it stands right now, if you go to Walmart in Swansboro, no cash, card only.
Wow.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's usually the other way around.
I would
Why don't
agree
you
with
go-
that. Yeah.
I just understand why you can't go back to the old system where if you say it's $19.50 and somebody hands you a 20, you count back 50 cents. But nowadays,
Because a lot of people don't
They
even know
can't
how to
do
count
that.
They
money
can't
back.
do
And that's
that, right.
sad and pathetic in itself.
oh, I've seen that.
Some people just don't get it, like a disabled mom who was seriously injured in a car collision, who was initially awarded $800,000, claiming she is never ending. Well, a newspaper in Ireland was covering an event after Christmas in a used Christmas tree tossing contest. What? Have you?
Yes, they do it over there a lot.
Phew. Photographs in the paper show the woman not only competing, but winning the competition. 36-year-old Kamala Grabska sued an insurance agency after a 2017 crash she claimed caused her debilitating neck and back pain that prevented her from holding a job for 5 years. Grabska is a mom of 2 from the town of Ennis. The wreck was the result of somebody hitting her in her back end. She claimed it left her unable to carry her young children or complete household chores. She quit her job shortly after receiving disability payments and argued that her previous and future lost totaled more than $500,000. So she got awarded $800,000.
Well, it gets better.
What?
So also when they had that trial for her recently about this, when she went to court over it and they dismissed her claim. And back in last November, there was a video of her play wrestling a big giant Dalmatian for 1.5 hours.
Oh, Lord.
And that was the other thing that the court considered when they denied her and said you're fraudulent and all this other stuff. This has been big news over there. I had someone from there tell me about this yesterday. That's why I was going to bring it up, and then you beat me to it. She's something else.
Well, you folks, it's hard to prove or disprove somebody who claims they got really bad pains in the back and the neck and stuff like that, because it doesn't really show up. You don't have a radar out there for pain. You just got to take somebody.
But if you've got that kind of pain, you're not throwing a Christmas tree. I've seen the photo and the video of her, and then,
there was a firefighter who took a little fall in Wilmington during training.
Okay.
He claimed back injury. Okay, he's a big burly guy. Claimed back injury, ended up getting workman's comp.
Okay.
And disability, yada, 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 all of that sort of good stuff. Well, somebody that we know was hired they didn't believe him, was hired to follow him with a camera.
Yeah.
And when he put on, you know what scuba tanks are, right?
I know exactly what that is.
You know what 2 scuba tanks look like together?
Yeah.
He was putting those on a boat and jumping into the Cape Fear River
Oh, heck no.
on camera.
Well, back in the
No.
day,
Took care of that problem.
Absolutely it did.
back in the day when I was
Yeah.
a private investigator, we did a lot of workman's
Yeah.
comp cases. And I can remember one in particular that had hurt his back, et cetera, et cetera. And so I watched him, went to his residence. He was up on a ladder painting the house. I stood there and talked to him for the longest time and had pictures and everything. But yeah, you know in some of those cases,
In
they'll
a
catch up to you.
in a club one night, another guy who had this similar type situation, he was getting workman's comp and disability. He walks into the club wearing his insurance collar, and then he takes it off.
A few beers later.
He takes it off, and he's out there dancing like you would not believe. But he was totally disabled, he said. Even had a handicap sticker on his car.
Oh my gosh. I'd be shoving that right out of the spot.
Anyway, that did not work too well for him, because I know that Robin knows about it. I don't know whether you've ever dealt with them or not, but you can get a camera with just a lens that fits up here in a cap. Call it a
I've
cap
seen
camera.
those. Yep.
Wire runs down your back to a pack on the
Right.
back, which is a transmitter,
Right.
not a recorder, that transmits it to your vehicle outside where the recorder is rolling.
We were never that advanced, but usually a tape recorder or something in a pocket.
Yeah.
So
But those are interesting stories.
I've crawled under a house many a time and put a recorder on a phone line.
You got to have, yeah, you know.
It was back in the day. Hey, it's over with, Don. You can't get me for it now.
I'm not saying nothing about that. I did build a device one time, fairly simple to build. It
Really?
transmitted and broadcast on the FM band. So you could sit in your car down the street, and every time the phone would ring, it was powered by the phone line. And it was a very tiny device. And every time the phone would ring, it activated, and you could sit there and listen to the conversation. You just pick an unused frequency
Right.
on FM.
We didn't have that, but we would
That
have
was
to go
simple.
back at a later date and crawl back under the house to get the recorder.
Mhm. These are so inexpensive, and
Yeah.
just leave them there.
Well, I'm reading this story here, and I want to bring it up because this goes along the lines of eating disorders. So this kid, I think this kid is 3. Goes to daycare and they pack their lunch. So the kid had came home and told the mom, my teacher made a comment and told me I had to eat my good food before I eat my bad food. So the mom got ticked off and put a note inside the kid's lunchbox. And there's a photo in here of the note. And the mom's note says, and I agree with what the mom did. Hi, Evelyn has our permission to eat lunch in any order she chooses. None of her foods are good or bad. They are just food. Thanks. And the parents signed their names because they're like food, and they wrote food as food. Because this, and I don't know if the teacher meant well, but this, you have to be very careful when you're dealing with children and food, because eating disorders or obsession compulsive disorders, anything can be triggered very quickly by just something what comes across as innocent. I agree. It's not the teacher's job to tell a kid, if the parents pack that for them. There could be a whole bunch of reasons why that they're eating that. So good on the mom, but you should not label food good or bad, because eating disorders start with children, but I've seen severe ones, very severe. It results in hospitalization. I'm dealing with one now, and it's you'd be surprised at what people are triggered by what somebody might seemingly think is just an innocent comment.
There was an actress, a really young actress. She was in a movie in Wilmington, but I had to do some photo work for the movie set. And she was in the picture with 2 other girls, but she's one who had an eating disorder. Goldie I forgot her name, but she apparently was well known for having that disorder, but it was publicized everywhere and all the entertainment stuff. But she was getting over it. But every time she would eat anything, she'd get up and run to the restroom to get rid of it.
She was bulimic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, also too, sometimes people with like autism or any kind of sensory disorder, certain food textures, they just absolutely cannot eat. Some people may have a food allergy. So you never know when a parent packing a kid's lunch. Yeah, you don't know what people have. But also too, just using good or bad is not, especially, if you just don't know how triggering that may be.
I have many times when I go to a buffet, and I'll also get a dessert, but not all the time, because I don't eat that many desserts.
Yeah.
But I come back, I might want to eat that dessert first.
Heck yeah, I do that a lot.
Whose business
That's
is
what I'm
it?
saying.
I know a lot of
That's
people
what
who
the
do
kid
that.
did. The kid ate her cookie first.
Yeah.
Right.
And the teacher told her, no, you got to eat your sandwich and cucumbers first, and because those are the good foods and your cookies are bad food. That's what the teacher told the kid.
You know what I'd do? I'd pack my child's lunch for the next
I
day.
would slam
Nothing
full
but
of nothing but
cookies.
yes, I would slam that kid that just because it's not the teacher's job to do that. That's a
I'd
parent's
put
job.
an extra
That's
cookie
right.
in and label
Heck
it for the,
yeah.
ti-
Oh,
for
no.
the, for
Yeah.
the teacher.
Your
And have it
teacher.
to the
Between 2
teacher.
slices of bread would be cookies.
That don't sound like a bad lunch. What are you talking
Chocolate
about?
chip ones, good ones like that.
Yes,
I can do
exactly.
that. I don't have any here. I go make me a sandwich right now.
Like I can't eat Jell-O. I don't like the texture. It
I don't
grosses
like
me
it
out.
either.
It's so gross.
Used to, but I don't,
Oh, I just
don't
don't
like it anymore.
I
As a
like,
kid, I liked it.
I like fried chicken. Chappie's fried chicken.
Yeah, I do too. My God.
Oh,
I got to get
so
out to
good.
Gum Branch Road. They need to build another one in town. Maybe
Yes.
right next door would be
Well, it's
good.
not far from me. Maybe I'll run out there this afternoon. By the time you get it, won't be as good. So.
Why?
Because. Are you working today? What's today?
Yeah, I'm
Tuesday?
working today.
Oh, if I go by Chappie's, I'll pick up some and drop it off.
Okay, let's take a break.
So
Then we're going
good.
to talk about the NRA when we come back. Theo, I hope you're listening. You're live and local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
If you're looking for a home, or perhaps you want to sell your house, why would you not pick a realtor that knows Eastern North Carolina? Candy Brown Thompson has lived her entire life in this area and knows the territory like the back of her hand. She's a realtor with Century 21 Champion in Jacksonville and is known as a professional that will do everything possible to find the right home to meet your needs. It matters not whether you're looking for a small starter home or you're ready for a larger home. Candy will stick her neck out and check out homes throughout the eastern part of the state. She's known to look high and low and show you as many houses as you want until you have found the perfect house you can turn into a home. Throughout the process, she'll treat you with grace, kindness, and integrity, and you'll love her sense of humor. For a realtor dedicated to her clients, give Candy Brown Thompson of Century 21 Champion a call at 910-787-5600. That's 910-787-5600.
Welcome to Lincoln & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lincoln & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lincoln & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lincoln & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lincoln & Associates Family Dentistry.
Why vote for Republican candidate Suzanne Long on March 5th? Mrs. Long is a conservative Christian with 30 years of experience in Onslow County Schools, serving as a teacher, principal, director of curriculum and instruction, and executive director of exceptional children's programming. She has the perspective of being a military child, military spouse, and mom of a Jacksonville high school graduate. March 5th, choose a voice for quality public education for children, quality vetted resources and support for staff, and quality commitment to the community. Choose Suzanne Long. Paid for by the committee to elect Suzanne Long for Onslow County Board of Education.
When you need comforting, who do you call? An old friend, right? Jacksonville Heating Contractors services the heating and cooling needs of our area with dependable quality train systems, guaranteeing indoor comfort for your home or business. In addition to quality train systems, Jacksonville Heating Contractors offers 24-hour emergency service, NATE certified technicians, and over 50 years of experience and service you can trust. And with a Jacksonville Heating Contractor service agreement, you never pay retail for heating or cooling services and receive priority scheduling. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And in New Bern, you can call Trent Heating and Air Conditioning 252-632-2200. In Morehead City, Sea Air Heating and Cooling 252-247-1122. If you need service or repairs, just call an old friend. Jacksonville Heating Contractors, an independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. For deals on train systems and more, visit anoldfriend.com or call 910-347-2843.
Meet John Davis, a dedicated leader with a vision for Onslow County. As the mayor of Swansboro for 6 years, John has worked with people to make things happen. Now he's ready to work with you to make improvements in the county we all call home. John's platform is built on the foundations of real change. Your voice is at the center of that change. As a champion for veterans and their families, John will continue to collaborate with local, state, and national leaders to improve the lives of the veterans we love in our communities. Onslow County residents need expanded options for mental health and addiction treatment and family support. John needs your help to bring options for hope and healing to our neighbors, friends, and loved ones in need. Emergency response capability is critical to our county, and John values your input as efforts continue to ensure the safety and well-being of every resident. John is a champion for economic development and job creation. You know the jobs we need, and he wants to bring them here. Let's strive to build a thriving, prosperous community for all. Together, we can build a brighter future for Onslow County. Vote John Davis for Onslow County Commissioner. Leadership, vision, and commitment for a better tomorrow.
Paid for by to elect John Davis.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
The former big guy of the National Rifle Association, Wayne LaPierre, had been living high on the hog with contributions from gun rights people all over the country. Now a jury has ordered him to repay more than $4 million to the NRA. Evidence presented at his trial showed he spent donors' money on trips aboard lavish super yachts, took many trips on private airplanes, and blew the NRA's funds on numerous getaways. On the eve of his trial last week, he stepped down from his longtime position, 3 decades long. The NRA's retired finance chief, Wilson Phillips, owes $2 million. Jurors also found that the NRA failed to properly manage its assets. I agree with that. Omitted or misrepresented information in its tax filing and violated whistleblower protections under New York law. Why hasn't this nonprofit organization been audited? There should be requirements that any nonprofit must hire outside auditors. I will repeat that. All nonprofit organizations should have to hire outside auditors to look over the books if the organization collects more than a to be determined amount of money. In other words, if they're just like $500 a year, no, don't worry about it. But if they're collecting millions of dollars a year, every nonprofit should be audited. Every church that's collecting that kind of money should be audited.
I agree.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, sometimes your nonprofits don't keep good records. And I think that any nonprofit that applies to the county, for instance, for a grant or for money, I think they need to provide updated records every year.
Absolutely. I will tell you, as a member, a long-standing member of the NRA, I am ashamed of the leadership. While I only am a member and I pay membership dues, I do not contribute to the political funds, never have, never will. I like their fight. I like them representing us, but I just have always been suspicious of all the money that's being sought after. I mean, I get calls, I get emails, I get text messages from the NRA on a regular basis, which none of them I respond to.
All right.
If my membership is up, I will renew it. But they better show me some good leadership, because this is wrong.
Right. I agree with that. When we owned Sportsman's Lodge, we taught NRA courses, mainly to children, about staying away from weapons and stuff like that.
Those courses and what the NRA stands for is great.
Yes.
They hold competitions, and that's what, and they put out good news. Sometimes they get overly political.
Yes, but like you, I wouldn't give money to their political causes, because there's just most of it goes to administration anyway.
Apparently.
Yes. Just like some of these nonprofits that you can donate to, like when it's time for the combined federal campaign. You need to research, because a lot of them, like 97 cents of the dollar that you're donating, goes to administrative staff and not to the actual cause.
The average in North Carolina is whatever the good cause is,
right.
It's 7%, 7 cents on the dollar.
Right.
So that's the way that is. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning, deplorables.
Hello, Mr. Adorable. How are you?
Now, that wasn't hard to do, was it?
What do you mean hard to do?
What was
what you just said? I'm proud of you.
Well, I call them as I seize them. You understand that, right?
You call them as you seize them when somebody pressures you.
Nobody pressured me.
I pressured you.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Okay, I'm proud of you. I'm glad you came out and cleared all that up. And now I have something for Lee.
Yes, sir.
Lee, I'm going to be expecting a commentary from you.
Oh, gosh.
Here we go. Did you know the RNC, what was his name? Wobbly or Wampley? Or
Michael Watley.
Did you know him?
Yes, I know him very well.
Okay, you said you always want to check the people's records and check their history and all that.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was the NRC leader for North Carolina.
He's the GOP chairman for the state of North Carolina.
Okay, did you know that he was a mega Republican?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so now this guy is going to go. You know what a mega Republican is? He doesn't believe that Biden is the president, right?
He supports a MAGA Republican supports Donald Trump. Some of them
exactly.
are.
And that is what mega Republicans are.
Some of them are
okay?
radicals.
They went to override the vote. Okay, that's who they are. Okay, so you knew he was that kind of a person.
I wouldn't say he's that kind of a person. During this whole administration, he has stayed pretty quiet and not gotten into the fight about the ballot harvesting, et cetera, alleged. He has stayed pretty quiet. He was reelected last year as chairman of North Carolina's party, Grand Ole Party. In fact, I just called yesterday and left a message for him so he can call in. But Trump has chosen him. Trump is very fond of him. They have a close relationship. We'll have to wait and see whether or not he takes over as the RNC committee chairman. He is on one of their attorneys on board for the RNC, so we'll just have to wait and see. But it really looks like that if Trump wins the nomination, that Michael Whatley will become the
national chairman. And we'll just have to wait and see.
Okay, so now he knows that he's trying to put his daughter-in-law
Laura
to be his assistant.
to be his co-chair.
Okay,
Correct.
so he knows now that she was talking about all the money that they're going to make is going to go for him to pay for his fees. Is that the kind of guy you want in there? You didn't know that this guy was this type of person?
Wait, say that again. I'm not
confused.
too sure what you're saying.
Okay, maybe you're not familiar with it.
If you're talking,
Why do you think he's putting his daughter-in-law in for second in command?
his preference, he's building his team.
He's building his team.
That's right.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter.
I'll let you go now because you're not familiar with it, but there's a commentary. Let us know the real reason why his daughter-in-law is going to be second in command. And see if you agree with him knowing that. See if you agree on this person that you vetted and he was okay with you.
I can make a prediction of why he's doing it and what the reason is that she would accept it. And that is because she has a future in politics in her mind.
That's right.
Yes, she's very politically active.
Look into it, and you might be surprised for another reason.
I have no clue what you're talking about. You
and
know,
Rayford,
Yes, dear.
your other commentary is going to be you didn't say anything about CPAC. Did you see any sound bites? What these people were talking about?
I have not.
Okay, as an independent, because you're a Democrat, you're in the middle of a Democrat and a Republican, as an independent, and you have a radio show, and we're going to a very important democracy depends on it. We're going to a very important election. I think you should write or come up with a commentary on what you heard on C-SPAN over the weekend, and you're going to be surprised.
Okay, I didn't hear anything on C-SPAN. I very seldom watch C-SPAN, to be honest with you.
It's very important now, since we do talk politics on this show, that you guys are familiar with what's going on.
Well,
Don't you think?
you tell me what I can Google to find what they said on C-SPAN over the weekend. Give me a topic.
I'll tell you a topic. First of all, you have to find the sound bite of what Trump said about the black people. Okay, then you have to find out what Steve Bannon was yelling out. Okay, and then you have to look at Mark Robinson. Mark Robinson. Okay, he thinks he's a Republican. Mark Robinson. You will not believe what he was saying. This guy is running for governor, and everybody's going to be equal to him. He's going to work for all the people. Listen to what he said, and then you make that commentary. You're an independent, and you have to keep up with this stuff, okay? Or I'm going to call up and remind you.
Okay, you can do that. You can do that. But just
So
FYI.
you look at C-SPAN. I don't know how you're going to get all this stuff, but you look for those three people, what they said, and you come with your commentary.
Hey, Theo, I've got a listener that made a comment that if Trump was voted on and for by the people, would that not constitute democracy working? What's your opinion?
Democracy working? We're talking about what he's talking about when he gets into getting elected right now. We're not talking about what he did 4 years ago. And 4 years ago, when he was 2006, 17, and 18, when he had all three, we already said that, we had all three branches. He did nothing for immigration. There was nothing passed on immigration. Now, all of a sudden, we have a problem in immigration. Let me tell you something. Your workforce is under 11 million people. You need 11 million people to catch up on your workforce. That's how low you are. How many immigrants have come in?
Plenty. Too many.
Okay, well, if you got 11 million, you can use them for your workforce. Okay. Just get.
We got to go, Theo.
Theo, we're running real fast.
Okay, very good.
Talk to you tomorrow, maybe. You're live at Local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
In a season of falling temperatures and rising energy bills, your local Bryant professional is always ready, standing by to protect your home's comfort and defend you from uncomfortable temperatures and the higher energy bills associated with them. Ready to do whatever it takes for your home and you to be comfortable without breaking the bank. Because when the temperature falls, that's when your local Bryant professional turns up the heat efficiently.
Call Down East Heating and Air Conditioning at 346-4311 and let them keep you comfortable this winter. Down East Heating and Air Conditioning, serving our community for over 25 years. Also, Down East can help you with your home guttering needs. Call Down East today at 346-311.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
Chico's Tires, 2320 Wilmington Highway is Jacksonville's oldest tire company, and now Jacksonville's newest tire company is Little Chico's, located at 1675 North Marine Boulevard. Little Chico's carries all the major brands and all sizes, such as Michelin, Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Bridgestone, and many others, and all new tires have warranty. In addition to a great selection of new tires, Little Chico's has used tires starting at only $30. In addition to new and used tires, Little Chico's does brake service, minor auto and truck repair, expert custom window tinting, and towing. So if you need tires, new or used, brake service, minor auto or truck repair, expert window tinting, or if you need a tow, visit Jacksonville's newest tire store, Little Chico's, 1675 North Marine Boulevard. By phone, 910-333-0473 for Little Chico's Tire Service, located at 1675 North Marine Boulevard, right here in Jacksonville. Flatwoods Outfitters of Hubert looks forward to serving you throughout the new year with all your sporting arm needs and personal safety. Located at 111 Second Amendment Lane in Hubert between Jacksonville and Swansboro, Flatwoods Outfitters is Onslow County's oldest sporting and firearm facility. Flatwoods Outfitters has a long gun or pistol in stock to fit your need, whether for hunting or personal safety. Take advantage of their outdoor shooting range to practice or to learn how to safely operate your firearm, which Flatwoods highly recommends. At Flatwoods, you can sight in your scope to be sure of perfect accuracy to bag that trophy. They carry of long guns, shotguns, and pistols, as well as ammunition. If you are interested in a concealed weapon permit, Flatwoods Outfitters can assist with that also. Flatwoods Outfitters, 111 Second Amendment Lane, just off Highway 24 in Hubert, where they aim to preserve our hunting heritage, wildlife, and Constitution.
In planning for Onslow County's future, finding the right balance between progress and preservation is key. We aim to support growth without sacrificing our agricultural heritage and small neighborhoods. To make sure we grow responsibly, let's use new taxes wisely. This means tackling challenges like improving essential services, protecting the environment, and ensuring quality education. Tony Padgett stands out as the sole candidate with a unique combination of experience, having served both as a Board of Commissioners chairman and a dedicated employee of Onslow County. A lifelong resident of Onslow County, Tony's unwavering commitment to public service is marked by utmost honor and dedication. He advocates for a streamlined yet robust local government that prioritizes the well-being of Onslow County citizens. Choose Tony Padgett for Onslow Commissioner, a visionary leader planning for our community's future. Paid for by Tony Paget for Onslow Commissioner.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
All right, we're back here. Former President Donald Trump, I don't know whether this is what Theo was talking about or not, was campaigning in South Carolina last week, brought the issue of race into the campaign by comparing his legal battles to the injustices Black Americans face in the legal system and saying Black voters would prefer him over his predecessor, Black President Barack Obama. He spoke to an audience of mostly Black Americans. He suggested that he is popular with African American voters. He said his 91 criminal indictments and mugshot were part of the reason. I've heard him talk about that, but I don't know whether they made a big deal of that on
Know
C-SPAN
your
or not.
audience, first off.
Yeah, it's
Totally know your audience. But I mean, am I surprised he made that comment? Absolutely,
absolutely not.
I mean, how could you be? The nonsense that comes out of his mouth sometimes is just unreal. And that to me is nonsense.
He said he's been discriminated against, and that's why Black Americans like him. Okay, we got to take a break. I know that we've got a caller, so you'll have to hang in there until we get through with Fox News. So don't go away. You're live and local real talk. Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m., WSME. Back in about 60 seconds.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W2.6 CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Biden says he's told an Israel-Hamas ceasefire is close and could be in effect by Monday.
One Hamas official pushed back against this, saying that the president's optimism was premature since there are still many disagreements on what such a deal would look like. The pause in fighting, reports indicate, would see some hostages released in exchange for Palestinian prisoners.
Fox's Trey Yank. The Supreme Court is considering challenges to anti-censorship social media laws in Texas and Florida.
In defending the Texas law, attorney Aaron Nielsen told the justices this is not about social media companies' free speech.
They can say anything they want.
But Chief Justice John Roberts indicated there may be a different kind of First Amendment issue here.
What the government's doing here is saying you must do this, you must carry these people, you've got to explain if you don't.
Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
There's a severe weather risk in the Midwest through tonight from Missouri to Ohio. It's primary day in Michigan. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1
WSME.
It's live and local real talk.
Okay, we had a caller, strange looking name and everything, but they hung up during the Fox News break. So maybe if they're legitimate, they can call back.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're one of the scammers, please call back. I'd like to talk to you on the air. I have fun with those people at their expense usually. Okay, I do not know anything about whatever Trump was talking about on C-SPAN or Mark Robinson. What was he saying?
One of the things I just looked up that he had said, and he said it back in the summer, I guess, is that instead of white people paying black people reparations for slavery, he's suggesting that the black people pay their own reparations back to white people.
Huh?
He's always felt like, because he was a man that came from nowhere and built himself up and became a political figure, that other blacks should be able to do the same thing.
Okay.
And he made this statement.
Well, you know, the reparations part bugs the crap out of me anyway.
Well, yeah.
There's not one person living today
that was alive then.
who's ever owned a slave, or
Right.
one person living today who ever was a slave.
Correct.
Okay, period. Bottom line.
Yeah, he's attracted a lot of scrutiny over his extremist type quotes
I
and
think it's
talks.
Steve.
And so he's very sharp
Steve's calling.
spoken, very conservative.
Yeah, I know he's
I
conservative.
don't agree with a lot of the things
don't
he
either.
says.
And I have a hard
Well,
time
I never
supporting
even
him.
heard that.
Just
but
like I
listen.
don't agree
Yeah.
with a lot of things Trump says or
I
Biden.
don't- me either.
I don't care what your political stance is.
Hey, Steve, what's
Hey,
up?
Steve.
Hey, good morning, guys. How y'all doing today?
Good. How are you?
Oh, doing pretty well. Looking forward to this beautiful day we're going to have.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Yes. It's gonna
Work
be
at getting
awesome.
your garden ready.
It's going to be warm.
Yeah, it's starting to get that time of year again.
I'm all about
For
it.
sure. I heard Theo this morning, and speaking about the head of the GOP for the North Carolina,
right?
Correct. And I think what he was trying to say is he's an election denier, and the man has admitted that he's an election denier. And honestly, I can understand people's concern with that. At this point, we kind of got to take small goals. And one on this, and we all agree that the election was free and fair, as free and fair as any election has been. I know that there's anomalies and that there's little, instances of voter fraud here and there, but nothing that would come even close to what was claimed.
There's nothing that would have changed, done any illegal activity that was done, and there was, heard about it, but anything that occurred would not have changed the outcome of the election. That is the bottom line.
But
right.
Yeah.
And I was going to say a little bit further than that, there wasn't enough to change even one precinct.
But I also think too, everyone has the right to their comments. So if so-and-so wants to believe that the election was, was stolen or whatever, I mean, I don't believe it. And I'm tired of hearing the argument because here's the thing. It's over with. Like, I don't know why people are still having this conversation, because for almost 4 years now, it's been over. But if someone wants to believe that, I mean, that's their right to believe it, just like it's my right to believe that it wasn't stolen.
And besides that, we're talking about Whatley. What is he? He's not elected by the people. He's chosen by whoever's in office. Period.
Are you talking about as state GOP chairman?
No, I'm talking about as North Carolina.
RNC. Oh, in North Carolina.
As the RNC.
RNC, yes. He's chosen by the heads of the Republican
that's it.
Party.
That's it.
Trump's leading it.
It's got nothing to do with you and me.
Yeah.
Nothing.
We don't get to pick. I mean, I don't carry it away, but.
But the point I'm trying to, I guess, make about it is that anybody in a leadership position, especially in the political field, is that if they're still making this claim, shouldn't they have to produce proof at this point? Or
No.
stop making the claim? And
No more so than I should have to provide proof for what I support, for what I think.
I think the issue is because it's his belief. So he's going to make that claim because it's what he believes. And there's a lot of Republicans that believe the same thing he does. So they're going to support him. And there's a lot of Republicans that don't believe that.
Why do these people believe that, though?
But it's their thought process. Everyone has their own thought process, and it's their thought process.
Well, I will tell you, Michael Whatley is a veteran GOP campaign operative. He served in the administration of George W. Bush back in the day. He won Trump's support because he backs Trump's claim that the 2020 election was stolen. Now, I will tell you this, that through North Carolina, a lot of good things have come out of this. I don't know if you're familiar with the North Carolina Election Integrity Team that was started by Jim Womack, who I know personally. And they have brought a lot of stuff to surface, and they're working hard. And Michael Whatley, along with them, they have gotten so many lawyers from every single county as part of their team. I mean, if there was election fraud, we've got eyes on it now. And if it was, then we would know it. And that's his right, his choice to back Trump's claim.
Just like it is yours to say, no, that did not happen, or mine to say, no, that did not happen.
Right.
But I think at this point, why are we even having this argument? Like, this is, let's say they found evidence. Okay. It's been 4 years. It doesn't matter. What's going to change?
If they found evidence, then somebody should be indicted.
Yes.
Okay.
But not only that,
goes criminal
yes.
at that point in time.
Yeah, but it's been 4 years. It's not going to change the last 4 years.
They didn't indict that woman in Chicago who went on TV cameras and saying, oh, well, I voted for my so-and-so and so-and-so because 7 different times because they couldn't get to the polls.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I get your point, but I think what you're missing is that What do you think is going to happen if Donald Trump loses this time?
I'm sure the
Do you
same
think that
same
this is
argument
the
will be
same thing?
made. Yes,
They'll make the same
but
argument.
it's
It will fall on deaf ears.
but you
Steve.
can't arrest anyone for having an opinion. And it's someone's, all these are just opinions because there's no proof anything ever happened. These are just opinions. But everyone is entitled to their opinion. But that's fine. But it's their right to have that opinion. Just because you don't believe it doesn't mean somebody else does.
But what you're essentially saying is people in leadership roles have the right to get up there and say things that are completely untrue just because it's what they believe.
Well, good Lord, it happens every single day. We're going to throw them in jail? I mean, look how many people spout free speech all the time. It's no different. And people either choose to listen or don't listen, and that's fine. But everyone has an opinion.
With these people going out and lying to their constituents and telling them that there was absolute voter fraud and that Joe Biden is not the rightfully elected leader, and you're completely complicit with that. You have no problem with them going out and telling
not a matter of
millions
being
of people.
complicit.
It's not a matter of being complicit. I don't believe it. Well, what am I going to do? Go beat his tail on the stand for saying it? I mean, he can't be arrested.
We say that for their lives. We say if you don't have proof, then you're lying, and you're just because that's what you want to believe, don't make it true.
But understand, but what's that? We've all said that.
I'm telling people that they're not going out and telling people, this is my belief. I have no proof of it. I just believe it. No, they're going out and telling people this.
It's politics.
But that's how politics works. But the other thing too is, so what?
Well, you want to do away with
What do you
politics?
want? What do you want to be done to them? I guess it's my question. What do you want to happen to them?
We should just
it?
do away with all parties and let everybody run on their own merit.
I agree with that.
There you go.
I don't think turning a blind eye to it and saying it's okay for them to do this is the answer.
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm saying it's their opinion.
Hold on. Now, what would you suggest, Steve? Do you have a suggestion, or are you just complaining?
My suggestion is the same thing as what Theo does. You call everybody out for this, and you don't say, "Oh, well, that doesn't matter. It's just their opinion."
So, who have you called out? Have you called out Mr. Watley?
Am I not calling it out right now against y'all saying that it's okay?
It's okay for them to have free speech.
Okay.
Oh, hold up, Steve. Now, don't you dare put words in my mouth.
Okay.
Hold on.
That's
said
exactly, you said it was their right, their First Amendment right.
it is their First Amendment right to say. Are you trying to throw this guy in jail? I don't agree with it because I don't think it was stolen. But it doesn't matter. Just he believes it was. I believe it wasn't. So, I mean, if you want me to get out and fist fight him in a ring, I will if that'll make you feel better.
You're acting like one opinion has no more credibility than the other.
But that's why is yours more important than his?
In his mind, Steve,
what's more important is that it is. If people have looked at that election one time down the other.
Steve, I got one final question for you, Steve. I got one final question, then we're going to have to move on. Are you listening?
Yeah.
Do you think your opinion has any more weight, carries any more weight than Mr. Watley?
Absolutely.
In your mind, do you think Mr. Watley?
Not in my mind. Not in my mind.
Hold on.
The facts support my opinion.
Hold on.
The facts do not support his opinion.
All right, Steve, we're going to have to go. We got another call or two.
There ain't nothing to go further on that.
Okay.
The facts
Now,
support my opinion. They don't support his. End of story.
do you think that
So
Mr.
mine is more credible. There's no way to argue that. You cannot back me out of that into that corner, man.
Steve.
If my opinion is supported by facts and
Steve.
his opinion is not,
Steve.
mine is more credible.
Steve, in your mind, it is in your mind. Now, in Mr. Hold on. Let me get a damn question in, Steve. Let me get a question in. Do you think Mr. Watley thinks his opinion is more credible than your opinion?
It doesn't matter what I
Okay,
think.
then-
It don't matter what
Steve, we got another caller on the line. We got to go. You're live and local. We'll be right back. No, we're right here. Hey, caller, who's this?
Hey, good morning, Mr. Rayford. This is Sam. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, Sam. What's up?
I was calling in, and lady, sorry about that. I'm just calling in about the immigration topic. It's a hot topic in the United States right now.
Yes.
You discussed earlier in the program about the green cards, the people without green cards, and all that were expired. But in Onslow County, as we that work here, and most of them aren't legal. So we all know this.
We know
we're
it.
talking about from the local businesses hire them, they rent the houses to them. But they're mostly all good workers, but they're not legal. The biggest problem that we have here in the United States is that they won't do new laws for the Hispanics that come here. We know that there are coming too many at one time. So obviously the border security has to be addressed. But the majority of the people here, that even if they're not legal, they pay taxes and they're
What?
hard workers.
How do they pay taxes?
All these local businesses will not hire them.
How do they pay taxes?
They assign them a tax ID number. And then they pay tax, even if they're not legal.
You mean they pay federal income taxes?
Yes.
When they're paid?
That's the part that's the part I was like, do people know that majority of these Hispanics that work here, or other than Hispanic, I just know because I'm Hispanic. I was a Marine here, and I work locally here, and I know that they pay taxes.
Okay. You know that a majority of them pay taxes. How about all of those that I know of who get paid under the table?
The people that I know, and some do under the table. We know that, but a lot of the local businesses hire them.
But
We're talking about restaurants.
But it's not only Hispanics that have green cards, and the person I was referring to is not even Hispanic.
Well, and I know that I'm missing illegal immigrants. Just in general,
Well, the person I was referring to,
a lot of them do pay taxes. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. It's not what I've run into. Okay. Hey, man, appreciate your call.
Can I just say something real quick?
Yes, go ahead.
Before we go to commercial. Election deniers. Do you know currently right now the Texas governor, Greg Abbott, is an election denier? Secretary of State in Alabama, Wes Allen. Secretary of State, Missouri, Jay Ashcroft. Florida Governor, Ron DeSantis. Governor of Alaska, Mike Dunleavy. Mississippi Attorney General Lynn Fitch, Governor of Montana Greg Gianforte, Secretary of State Wyoming Chuck Gray, and the list goes on and on and on. And these are known elected officials that are election deniers. You are going to have people out there that believe there was fraud during the election. Should we ban them? Should we put them up on a post and tar and feather them? Do they have the right to believe that there was fraud in the election just as much as those have the right to say there wasn't? So there's no argument there, but you have all these election deniers right now that have positions in our government. It's the way it is.
But the point I'm trying to make is it's been 4 years. We're about to have a whole new election. Even if evidence came out right now on February the 27th, okay, it's nothing. By the time it all got through the court system, we're already going to be into the new election cycle in terms of November, December, January of next year. It doesn't change these last 4 years. That's all I'm saying.
In the first place, if there was whatever election fraud there was, and we do know there was fraud.
Yeah, there was fraud.
There's always fraud.
Yeah, but
If there's an opportunity, there will be fraud.
Right.
Does anybody think that Joe Biden had anything to do with that fraud? No.
Oh, I don't think he did.
No,
I think it's
absolutely
people
not.
around him.
So
or
you can't do
whoever.
anything to him. He's duly elected and he's duly serving. And that's just the way things
Well, I'm
are.
telling you right now, if this was a Democratic president that was done what Donald Trump has done, the whole thing would be reversed.
But my point
and that's
is,
what people don't understand, you know?
But my point is, if people have the right to believe there was election fraud, just have people have the right to say it's not. It doesn't make one person's opinion more than others.
And do you think
And
that
Steve's trying to persecute people for
Having
having
an
their own
opinion.
beliefs, and it's just because their opinion isn't what his opinion doesn't make one right or the other one wrong. Everyone has a right to believe what they believe.
we got people out there who try to persecute me, you, and Lee because we have guns? The same thing. We
Yep.
have our beliefs
Yeah.
and we have our
we do.
rights.
Mhm.
And we have a caller. Let's see. Who is this? Good morning. Who's this?
Go.
Good morning, everybody. How are
Don't
you?
leave me in
Chris.
this mess.
Oh, hold
I
on.
just a couple of points here because of the words belief, and we all have our beliefs. We all have what we think. Let me just say this to Steve and anybody else that really cares. The only thing that we know in life that's fact is this: we live, we die. That is the only thing that we know is a fact.
Yep.
Everything else, and Rayford, you brought up a good point. And if Steve believes that his belief, because he thinks he has facts, I don't know if he has them, but if he thinks his opinion is more important than anybody else's, but he's pretty self-centered. Maybe. I mean, maybe that's the wrong word. I'm just saying we all have our beliefs. My belief is this: you learn from the past. You shouldn't relive the past. Okay, the past is, as everybody has said here, what happened 4 years ago happened. It's done. We should have moved on, right?
We're in a new election cycle,
opinion.
brand new election
Yes.
year. And if Donald Trump beats Joe Biden, do you not think the Democrat Party is going to do exactly the same thing as the MAGA Republicans have done, as Donald Trump has done, and claim there was fraud?
Yeah,
and
they
that the
will.
election was stolen.
Yeah.
And I don't want to put up
And
with another 4 years of that.
No, I don't think the American people should have to. What we need to concern ourselves with is what we are having to deal with every day, and that's higher inflation, higher gas prices, higher food prices, items like this, border security. Think about this. Okay, now I use that word "think."
Good luck.
Or belief. But here's a fact. Here's a fact. How about these deaths that are these murders that have been happening? The first thing that's being posted out there by the national media is an illegal immigrant killed this college student. This illegal immigrant did this, did that, attacked police in New York City. Okay. What have they actually done that's been good? What have they done when they've come over here illegally? Now, I'm saying an illegal immigrant. What
Totally
have they
agree.
done good?
I can't think of anything. I'm sure that some of them
Okay.
have done some good things. Those who joined the military should be given, consideration for that. And that should be, if they served honorably, they should be on a fast track to immigration. To citizenship. That's my opinion.
Good point. Good point. I think I can agree with that, because if they're going to defend our country, and although they've come in here illegally, if they're going to defend the country that they're wanting to come into, fast track them. Then that's fine.
Absolutely.
Because they're going to defend the United States of America.
That's right.
I just want to say this. I love Theo. Would love to have a discussion with Theo back. And Steve, I would, if Steve would let someone get a question or a word in. And I'm not picking on Steve, not at all. Okay, but Rayford, you should have been able to get your question in. I mean, you are the host of the show.
Mm-hmm.
My point is this: we only have one fact that we can all agree on. I hope. We live, we die. That's the only real fact that the four of us that I'm talking to right now, you three and myself, that's the only fact that I know in life. Everything else. Go ahead, Rick.
So far, everything, all the facts in the past point to what you're saying as being true.
Okay. And I like the way you put that. So, because people used to say, well, you have to pay taxes, you have to die. You do not have to pay taxes. Pay the penalty if you don't, but you can't cheat death that I know of yet.
Nope.
And the only reason I'm saying this is we're all allowed our opinions and beliefs. Everybody is. That's what makes us human. But don't believe it's yours. And I'm not saying this to you three. Don't believe that yours is any better than anybody else's, because that's your belief. That's your opinion. And even if you say you have facts to back it up, it doesn't make your opinion or belief any better.
Nope.
Simple as that. I mean, it is what it is. I'll leave you with this. Do any of the three of you, because it's your show, do you recall on the day of the quote insurrection, did you ever hear the word from President Trump say, "Go storm Congress"? Does anybody ever heard him say those words?
Nope.
Okay. Thank you, Rayford. That was my point. No one ever heard him say it.
Nope.
There are people who believe he caused it, but he never told any of those people, go storm Congress, go stop the vote.
Now, did he set the stage to show? This is my opinion. My opinion is he set the stage by getting all of those people there, his supporters there in Washington, hoping that something positive would come out and that they would, the vice president would not sanctify the voter, the results of the election. But that didn't happen.
No.
He said yes.
So you're right.
It's done.
And I try to not talk so everybody has a chance to say something.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies can chime in too, because I know how to be quiet. But my point is, Rayford, that's a good point. He set the stage, but he did not ever tell any of those people go do that. He didn't tell them to go in and hurt police, go in there and go into people's offices and stuff. He set the stage. But everybody else did things because they wanted to, not because they were told to.
I see it as a riot, not an insurrection. It was a riot. Definitely a riot.
It was. But anyway, I just wanted to get my 2 cents in, and I think you all are doing a good job. And people, let everybody get their comments in. Let them say what they want to say. Have an interaction like this. I mean, I don't get into a yelling, or anything like that, because I want to hear your opinions. It's your show, and I hope you want to hear my opinion.
I do.
Chris.
Goodbye, Chris.
Chris, can you bring me a Starbucks extra espresso? I'll need it.
A Starbucks what?
A Starbucks with an extra shot of espresso.
She's gonna be able to go get her own in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Chris, it's all right.
Okay, well, y'all have
Thanks,
a great
Chris.
day. Take care.
Yeah, you too. You're live in local Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM. WSME, weather's next.
Freedom 97.1 WSNE.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue in Swansboro.
If you plan to rebuild, remodel, repair, or do cottage or home improvements, Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morris City, should be your first stop. Williams Hardware carries power tools equipment, chains and fasteners, plumbing and electrical supplies, along with Gerber, Buck, and Case knives. Williams Hardware is your helpful, handy hardware store. Williams Hardware cuts glass to size and cuts and threads pipe. When the chores are done and the cleanup is finished, light up that Wilmington grill from Williams Hardware. Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morris City. Open Monday through Saturday from 7:30 till 6 p.m. and Sundays for your convenience, noon till 5. Phone Williams Hardware, 252-726-7158.
Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local carrier indoor weather team, serving all of your heating and air conditioning needs since 1967. Now offers residential and commercial duct and dryer vent cleaning, and now offers expert residential and commercial plumbing service. In case of a power outage due to a storm or for any other reason, be prepared with a Generac generator for your home or business. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning has Generac generators in stock, ready to install today. Remember, better breathing comes with cleaner air. Let Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning improve the air quality in your home or business with professional air duct cleaning. As always, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning is available 24/7 for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing emergency needs. Turn to the carrier experts, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, with locations in Jacksonville and Hampstead. Visit online, humphreyheating.com. and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning since 1967. Relax. We're on the way.
Hello, shoppers. Take advantage of the following specials and many, many more at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store where good things cost less. Down the street on Main Street in Maysville. And remember to take advantage of Pig Perks where you get 1 point for every dollar you spend on future purchases. How about Sweetheart Steaks, just $10.99 a pound? Boneless ribeye steak is only $10.99 a pound. Boneless chuck roast, $5.79 a pound. 10 pounds or more fresh ground chuck is only $3.99 a pound. Whole Boston butt, just $1.49 a pound. And St. Louis style ribs are $1.99 a pound. And whole chickens are just $1.49 a pound. And remember, the beef and pork is cut fresh every day by the butchers at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store. And they use only the finest and certified Angus beef and Sanderson Farm chicken. Over in produce, you get a 2-pound package of fresh strawberries for just $5.98. Fresh blueberries are only $3.99 a pint. Russet baking potatoes, great with steaks, just 99 cents a pound. A dozen premium rose bouquets, just $27.99 each. Zesty limes are only 49 cents each. Large California lemons, just 69 cents each. And hot jalapeno peppers are just $1.99 a pound. And you also get 3 6-packs of the 16-ounce non-returnable bottles of Pepsi or Mountain Dew for just $11. That's your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store where good things cost less. Down the street, Main Street in Maysville. Remember, say big with the pig.
Hi, my name is Michelle Halley, and I'm running for a seat on the Onslow County Board of Education. I have lived in Onslow County for over 40 years and have a vested interest in the community and the school system. I want to serve on the Board of Education because I am a firm supporter and believer of public education and wish to work collaboratively with others to support the students, employees of the system, and the community. I believe in developing effective partnerships with all stakeholders to ensure continued success. Together, we can provide the opportunity for an excellent education for all our students. A quality school system is vital to the success of Onslow County. Please use your voice and vote in the upcoming Onslow primary. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you and have a fantastic day. Paid for by the committee to elect Michelle Halley, Board of Education.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, down at Time Marine and Family, they're opening their doors. They are open now, and they'll be open until 5 o'clock today, as they are every day, Tuesday through Friday, 8:30 until 2 o'clock on Saturdays. You need to check out the Tideline team. See what deals they're offering on new boats, new motors, and new trailers. Fishing boats for the shallow waters of eastern North Carolina, the bays and creeks of the White Oak and New Rivers, offshore and nearshore center consoles that will take you where the big fish like to play. And then there's luxurious Tri-Tune Aloha boats that can handle your entire family and a bunch of friends for a fun day on the water. Of course, fishing tackle and related supplies to make sure you have what you want as the waters start to warm up. If you do your own maintenance, you can get parts for your motors too down at Tideline. If you don't, Tideline has trained technicians to take care of your outboard motors. Tideline Marine and Family, 159 Old Bridge Street on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. Offshore today, winds out of the south 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4, dominant period 5 seconds, sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Tomorrow, southerly winds 20 to 25 knots with gusts to 30, seas big, getting big, 5 to 8 feet, dominant period 6 seconds, sounds and rivers rough. Gale watch goes into effect Wednesday afternoon through Thursday morning. Thursday, northerly winds 20 to 25, becoming northeasterly 15 to 20 in the afternoon. Gusts up to 30 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet, subsiding to 2 to 4 in the afternoon. Sounds and rivers will remain rough, but they will become choppy later in the afternoon.
Today, increasing clouds, a high of 71, winds 5 to 13 miles an hour with gusts as high as 22 miles an hour. Tonight, cloudy, low of 60 and still gusty. Tomorrow, partly sunny, high of 75, 14 to 23 mile an hour winds and gusts as high as 38 miles an hour. Tomorrow night, it's going to rain. It'll be a low of 39. It'll be gusty with 34 miles on Thursday because the cold front comes in tomorrow night. It'll be mostly sunny, a high of only 55 and 7 to 13 mile an hour winds with gusts as high as 18. Yeah, it'll be cold for the next couple of days.
Yeah. Okay, 910-333-0139. You're welcome to call. You're welcome to ask questions, but you're also welcome to listen to us when we ask you questions and respond. We're not going to have a bickering contest.
Mm-mm.
Just ask questions.
Well, I would just say we all have our opinions.
Yes, we do.
And because one of us, all of us, some of us, people out there everywhere may agree that there was widespread fraud, does not make those people election deniers, so to say. I mean, that's their opinion, that's their right. But it does not make you a bad person because you don't agree with the other side.
Well, that's what I said.
Everybody has
Okay.
opinions.
We've got the Baptist Church, we got the Presbyterian Church, we got the
Right.
Methodist Church, we got the Catholic Church, we got the Jewish synagogues, and God knows how many more religions that
Right.
we have, right? Or religious
Mm-hmm.
way they believe.
And also, too, you know, to comment on somebody who likes to comment about what I say anyway, that, you know, the election fraud, you know, when I said it's been 4 years, it's been 4 years. We've got another election coming up. But I think things have been learned from the previous thing in terms of North Carolina now has a voter ID law.
Yes, it does.
So you have to show ID. Is that going to deter everything? No, not at all. But also, too, to my other thing about 4 years, what do y'all want to happen then? If someone comes today and can, with absolute irrefutable proof anywhere, what do you want to happen? Biden to be taken out of office and Trump put back in for the next 6 months? I'm just asking.
Nope. Can't do
I
that.
don't have an opinion either way
It's too
on
late
it.
for that, right?
Well, that's my point. We have to move on from it, take the lessons learned, and keep on going. And if people want to believe there was election fraud, my mother believes it. Okay, so there you go. I have no problem with it. That's what I was trying to explain to Steve. It's an opinion. If you believe it, fine. If you don't, fine. I don't have an opinion either way on it at this point. It's been 4 years. We've had 4 years of this. And in 4 years, no one could produce documents or evidence or video or anything. I mean, it would have been great if they had. But at this point, what do you want to continue? The argument is pointless. But I do think one thing that did come out of it is throughout the United States, there are going to be people that are going to be watching the election. They are going to be looking. And at least in North Carolina, it's going to be harder to have voter fraud because you got to show an ID now. And I think that's good.
Right, and I will tell you that Michael Watley has a lot of responsibility in changing and things in North Carolina. He's engaged a lot of lawyers. We have lawyers from Onslow County that are part of the poll watchers and part of any issues that come up. There's been a lot done to secure the elections in North Carolina.
Yeah. And we have a caller. Hey, Bill, what's up?
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I liked what Kelly was saying about, like, you got to look to the past and what Lee was saying about elections. And it made me think about the if there had been any other presidents before, like what Donald Trump's doing, where they had broken time between presidencies. They had been elected, they didn't run for re-election, or
they were defeated.
They were defeated, and then came back and then got elected later. And the only reason why I brought it up, I was thinking of that, was because of other patterns in elections where, like John Kennedy, he got elected, he got killed. His vice president took over, Lyndon Johnson, and he ran the presidency for a year before getting reelected. Then he did a 4-year term, and he could have ran for reelection again, but he didn't. And then Robert Kennedy ran and then got shot in '68. Nixon got elected. And during that '68 election period, too, they had the Watergate, but no one heard of anything during that time period. It just made me wonder, one of the things, why wouldn't the Republicans been all over that? But when it came to the '72 election, Nixon had a successful 4 years. There was still a lot of problems through the country, and then he gets reelected. And it's almost the same time frame that Johnson had served when Nixon was forced out after being reelected with the Watergate, which happened before he was even voted in as the president back in '68. But he went, before a justice and pleaded guilty to the charges and then resigned. But then he had chosen someone from the investigation into Kennedy's death, Gerald Ford, who had come from the Warren Commission or had been assigned to the Warren Commission, and he gets shot. Then he remains as president. He survived it. But when re-election came, he didn't get reelected. President Carter, who was also on the Warren Commission, gets elected and is made to look like one of the worst presidents ever. But he wasn't shot. They had crashed a plane into the White House lawn, and I think they had ran it into the Christmas tree that Richard Nixon had planted in his first, year as a president. And then after President Carter's administration, Reagan's lined up as, the next president to be, and he becomes a president. He, again, was on the Warren Commission, and he's shot, and again, whether it's going back to the investigation, the initial investigation of Kennedy or not, is left up to opinion. But there's a pattern to that. And it made me wonder with the past, was there a president who had broken time, and was his second term successful, or did something happen during it? And if Donald Trump gets elected, will the same kind of thing happen?
Okay, let's go back just a little bit. You mentioned when Nixon was elected in '68, okay? And he was,
Right.
and he was elected a second time. But this Watergate thing did not happen in 1968 or before he was elected. This began on June 17th, 1972.
Yeah, that's some of the things where I was. He always presented this. He had already gotten elected, and it went all the way back to the initial one. The Watergate. I always thought it was 72 also.
Well, it is in 72.
No, it happened in 68. It did happen in 72.
Yes, June 17th, 1972, a night guard at a D.C. hotel and office complex was making his rounds when he noticed a suspiciously taped open exit door. He alerted authorities, setting off a series of events, and the investigation began at that point in time, June 17th, 1972. Yeah. That was at the tail end of Nixon's first term. He was running for re-election, and in spite of all of this, he was elected. But then the investigation continued into his second term, and he resigned in 1974 when it became pretty clear that his office was involved.
Yeah. Okay. I know where I was. They kept reporting that it was an incident that was done in '68, not '72, because I had always believed it was '72, and then they changed it, saying no. And I was saying, why wouldn't the Republicans have been all over that? Especially like with Wilbur Mills and Fannie Fox, skinny dipping, and the Watergate Hotel found there. And that was a big news thing, and they had all of the pictures and stuff. They had camera crews out, doing the photography for it while they're skinny dipping.
All right, we're up against a commercial break there again, Bill. Thank you.
Yeah, all right.
Take care. You're live in local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 WSME.
All Pet Protection and Warranty is the only cover protection and warranty for all pets, all accidents, all the time. Because your pets are family members too. No matter how you live, we've got you covered. Soft, luxurious, smart strand forever clean carpet. Gorgeous, durable, Solid-Tech luxury vinyl tile. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room in your home. That's suitable for all pets. For details, contact Watkins Floor Covering online at watkinsnewfloor.com. Watkins Floor Covering, thanking you for voting them the best of the best for 2023 3 in the flooring covering and carpet cleaning category. Watkins Floor Covering, they're more than just floors. It's custom showers, custom tubs, carpet cleaning, backsplashes, bathrooms, commercial, retail, and home flooring too. Watkins Floor Covering, family owned and operated since 1997 with locations in Jacksonville and Surf City. Watkins Floor Covering, you stand on it, we stand behind it.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. Looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
For 40 years now, people throughout Jacksonville and Onslow County have trusted Barnes Diamond Gallery for all their jewelry needs for every special occasion. They understand that every day is a special event for someone, whether celebrating a wedding, anniversary, birthday, engagement, or graduation. Let Barnes Diamond Gallery custom design something for you. Barnes Diamond Gallery does on-site repair in addition to their quality and selection of diamonds, diamond fashion bands, pendants, watches, earrings, gemstone rings, and necklaces for anyone for any occasion. Major credit cards accepted. Layaway available. Barnes Diamond Gallery offers appraisals and paid top market prices for gold and silver. Barnes Diamond Gallery, 461 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, Jacksonville, open 9:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday.
Wismart and Chappie's Chicken. And for over 50 years, Great Gas and Oil Company has kept our community comfortable year-round with quality heating and cooling products and dependable service. In addition to heating and air conditioning service, Great Gas and Oil Company does generators, tankless water heaters, and quality appliance repair. For service, phone 910-347-7138. Locally owned and operated by Jerry and Jeff Allen and Bobby and Louise Williams.
If your plans include hitting the road this year to do some traveling, make sure a visit to Silent Service Center is on your to-do list. Travel safety starts with the tires on your vehicle, and a visit to Silent Service Center will give you peace of mind with the best value in all name brand tires and the largest selection of used tires in this area. In addition to quality tires, Silent Service Center is a North Carolina inspection station and does complete brake service, oil changes, and alignment service. Silent Service Center, 1707 Lejeune Boulevard, Jacksonville, and 108 West Main Street, Havelock. Phone 910-353-4760.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Okay, you're back. I think. Are we back? Can you?
Yeah, we're back.
Good.
Shoo-wee,
That's
you
it, we
go
don't have
ahead
a
and
caller.
say what you want to say, and then I've got a question from a listener.
You know, there's always been election fraud. We all know that.
Yes.
Some of it's not intentional, so therefore it's accidental. It could be mistakes at the Board of Elections, or it could be mistakes at the polling place. There could be there could be machine malfunctions. That's not fraud. When you intentionally, with malice aforethought, go out and vote using somebody else's name, which we know has happened.
Right.
It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And without ID, legitimate ID, you've got people at the polling places that may let somebody that they know is not Joe Johnson,
Right.
may let him go ahead and vote as Joe Johnson. You don't know.
Well, let's get Jim Womack on the phone this week. Let's see what he's got to say.
Yeah, but I'm looking for a case of fraud. And if all of you folks, like one of our county commissioners who held up a piece of paper and said, I've got the proof here of this and this and this and this and this, did they ever make it public?
No.
No. Is it in the county's filing system?
No.
Nope. But if y'all know there was such a great deal of fraud, then it's your duty as an American, to take it to the authorities.
America.
And here is the proof.
Right.
Well, you can't call it proof. You can call it evidence.
Right.
It's not proof until a court rules on it.
Yeah.
And if you've got evidence that you claim to have and you don't come forward with it, then you're
just as
complicit. You're totally
Exactly.
complicit.
And that's what I said. We have a local that claims it's got 3 years worth of evidence and it's locked in his safe at his house, but
it's not evidence.
It's 3 years and you're an elected official. Why haven't you brought it forward? Why are you letting this go on for so long? You're just as complicit.
Yep.
Like, that's mine.
Just totally.
Right.
Okay, your turn.
Okay, my turn. Okay. Whew. We had a listener comment earlier, and I thought it'd be nice to change the subject. He wants to know, what's your opinion on the issue of girls joining the Boy Scouts?
It's a confusing situation. Why did the girls join the Boy Scouts? Is there no longer a Girl Scout?
Well, I know a Girl Scout came to my house the other day with cookies, so... But why should there even be an... You've got the Boy Scouts, and then you have the Boys and Girls Club. So
there's a difference. I was never a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout. If I had the opportunity, if I had really pushed it, I could have joined the Boy Scouts. But I had other things that I was doing, and I wasn't in the group sessions. I do individual things. Like I would go hunting and I'd go camping, and I would, with a buddy, sometimes we camp. I'd go diving. And yes, I have dove alone. Not the safest thing in the world to do, but I will.
Well, February 2019 is when the decision came out, and it's official. Girls can join the Boy Scouts. And the organization's older youth program, Boy Scouts, will be called Scouts BSA, a change meant to welcome both boys and girls between the ages of 11 and 17. Excuse me. Oh, throat's dry. But why? Why can't we just have the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts? Why? Or do away with the Scouts altogether and just have a Boys and Girls Club?
No, Lisa, I don't know how the Girl Scouts work, but the Boy Scouts are, they have their own little thing. They do the camping. They did all sorts of programs, and I'm sure the Girl Scouts do the same thing. They teach archery. You can get merit badges for doing all sorts of things, including at one time becoming a ham radio guy.
Sure.
So, they teach that kind of stuff.
Well, here's a good point. For girls across America who have had brothers or friends that were Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts and always wanted to join, now they can do it. But that brings up a good point. What if your brothers were there and they were in this group?
Yeah.
And you were in there with them?
Who knows?
I don't know. The world's changed so much. I don't know anything
Final commercial
anymore.
break. You're live in local Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. We'll be right back.
Freedom 97.1.
Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro reminds you to check your mailbox and find your quote on homeowners insurance. Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro goes the extra mile to make sure you're in good hands, like helping you customize your home and windstorm coverage with their Write Your Own home policy. Yes, save you bundle your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and even your golf cart. Remember, if it rolls or floats, call Tammy for a quote. You and everything you own are in good hands with Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro. Call today, 326-5383. Tammy Fry Allstate, 638 West Corbett Avenue in the friendly city by the sea, Swansboro. Check your mailbox today for savings on your homeowner's insurance.
The best deal for the grill is at Jones LP Gas and Oil Company each Friday. Every Friday from 8 a.m. till closing at 5, Jones LP Gas and Oil Company will fill your 20-pound LP gas grill cylinder for only $11. You heard that right. Each Friday till closing, you can have your 20-pound LP gas cylinder filled for only $11 at Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 Wilmington Highway in heart of Verona. In addition to saving money on your LP gas for the grill, Jones Gas and Oil is your full-service gas and oil company serving residential, commercial, and agricultural gas and oil needs, as well as gas appliances, LP replacement parts, fill cylinders, and tankless water heaters, and they offer a 10% military discount on installation. Remember to get that cylinder filled every Friday until closing for only $11. Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 the Old Wilmington Highway, Verona. Phone 910-346-6384.
This is Robin Knapp, current Vice Chairman of the Board of Commissioners. I'm also a United States Air Force veteran and a retired special agent with NCIS. During the past 8 years, I have never faltered from my stance not to raise taxes or the tax rate, and I voted no the last time we voted on taxes. It is imperative that we continue to strive toward more conservative spending and utilize the funds that we have more efficiently and effectively. Despite our current economic status nationally, we must do everything we can to spend funds wisely, conservatively, and uniquely as we continue to grow as a community. The needs of our citizens and their voices need to be heard because as a commissioner, I represent all of you, regardless of political affiliation, religious beliefs, gender, race, and etc. In the last 8 years, I have shown strong and candid leadership, direction, and fortitude in voicing my opinions and voting without outside influence from others or groups, only voting my conscience and what I feel is best for the citizens and not for me. Please vote for me once again as one of your county commissioners. This message was paid for by the committee to re-elect Robin Knapp.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay. We're wrapping up this day. And
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. A lot of passionate viewpoints.
Yeah,
I will
lots
say
of-
that. And it's good.
I support your viewpoints.
Right.
Just don't diss mine.
Right.
That's the whole thing.
Don't think because I don't believe your way that I'm wrong.
You know, and again, I don't know what your religion is. Don't really care. But I'm not going to diss yours
Right.
unless
right.
you let Jim Jones guy down there in
Well, I will
Central
say
America kill people.
I was baptized a Methodist right here at Trinity Methodist,
Mhm.
but I go to other churches. I like learning about the religion of other churches, and I enjoy
nothing
it.
wrong with that.
No, not whatsoever.
Expanding your horizons, I think is what they call it.
And they all worship the same God, so what difference is it?
Yeah. I don't want to get going on the Muslim thing. I cannot support that because I had that Bible
Right, right,
and I looked at enough of it to know that no.
right. I've never read it. I've never
I couldn't
delved
read
into
all,
it.
But, it's,
I'm just talking like Methodist,
Yeah, I'm
Baptist. I've been to my
conventional.
the conventional. I've been to my sister. She's a devout Catholic.
Mhm.
She grew up in New York. I grew up here, but I've been to Catholic services, which I found were tiring. It was all that Hail Mary, Hail Mary, Hail Mary, and I'm like, oh, but beautiful services, beautiful services.
Doing as a wedding photographer and photographing over 400 weddings, most of them were in churches.
Right.
I've been to a bunch and sat through the sermons during the wedding vows exchange and all that sort of good stuff. It's it was always interesting. The different beliefs. And one of the more confusing ones, the bride was Catholic and the groom was Baptist, and they had the priest and the minister
Yeah, I've
doing
heard
it
of that.
together.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That was very weird because that particular priest was extremely conservative.
Mm,
But it went
mhm.
over very well. I mean, nobody hit each other. Either
I
way.
think the most beautiful church service I've ever been to was midnight mass with the Catholic
Mhm.
Church. Oh, what a beautiful service!
Now, I did go shooting a wedding at one Catholic church in Wilmington,
Right.
right near Wrightsville Beach, in fact. And I forgot the the priest's name, but anyway, he was a young guy at the time. That's been a long time ago. And what he said at the very beginning, as the bride had walked in, stood before him, he said, folks, first of all, it's a solemn occasion, but it's a fun occasion. But the bride, the first thing she sees, as she just did when she walked in that door, she looked at the floor and there's the aisle.
Okay.
She looks up and there is the altar up there. And then she looks over to the right and there's him,
Right.
her groom. So the three words and going through her mind, I'll alter him.
Oh my gosh.
I've never heard laughter coming from a church audience like I did that day.
That
was a good
really
one.
Good. That was
Anyway,
good. Yes.
I wish I had that one on video.
Wow. I'll alter
Okay,
him.
tomorrow we've got Dr. Rosemary Stein. Find out what the latest and greatest diseases there are happening amongst our school children. I keep hearing flu.
Would it be politicians? Just kidding.
And then Peter Wright's going to join us
Yes.
again tomorrow morning. We're going to talk about Medicare, Medicaid, and other insurances and
right.
whatever else is available. And if you've got questions, tomorrow is your time.
Right.
When he gets in here, call and ask him. He will
'cause
answer.
He'll be with us through the end of March.
Yes.
And then, it's time to
Take a break.
Take a break from it. And then he'll be back when election season opens back. No, election.
You misspoke.
Yes.
But-
Health season
Yep.
opens back up
When-
again.
Yeah, that'll be in September or October.
Right,
Because
right.
it kicks off in
So-
October and goes through December. And then we found out, I've learned there's some extended months you can do that in.
That's right.
So
There's
it's
a lot to
certain-
learn.
A lot of circumstances there. So if you've got questions, tomorrow's your chance.
Right.
Okay.
Then we're going to work at bringing in some. Oh, we've got some guests scheduled for the rest of the week, mainly candidates. But yeah, I think I'll make a few phone calls on the way home today and see if we can just spice it up some more today.
Yep, there you
Like we did today. Couldn't get Michael Watley. to
all
call.
of our callers, we like you to death, and we appreciate your opinions. We do appreciate your opinions.
Yes.
Just let us have our say and answer your questions.
Well, a lot of people think that our opinions should be based on facts. Opinions are opinions.
Yeah. Oh.
So there's a
It's-
difference.
Facts are interpreted the way that I see them and that you see them, and
That's
they may be
right,
different.
yes.
Facts is a fact. Blue is blue. Well, no, it could be off blue. It could
Purple.
be a purple, a
That's
red
right.
mixed with a blue. It gives you purple. There's all sorts of things how you can interpret it. How about white? How about antique white? What is it? Seashell colors.
There was a dress that went viral on social media years ago, and then some people would say it was gold, and some people would say it was a different color.
Or
And
cream.
yeah, no matter how you looked at it,
I've got how many shades of white do I have in this studio here?
people could look right at it and say, "Oh no, that's brown," or "That's purple,"
Whatever.
and somebody else look at it and said, "No, it's gold."
Okay, we will see you tomorrow morning. Have a great rest of your day. 22 hours now. We'll be back. You're live and local. Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. Fox News is now at 10 o'clock. Another dose of your daily D's with Rick D's in the house. And at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, this afternoon, he will hand it off to the man, the one, the only Hollywood man. We'll see you tomorrow.
WSME Championship